Hello and welcome to another scene set in Living World of Darkness Rage across New York. This evening we have the ever-prevalent Jacob Clay of Tribe Silverfang, continuing his investigations into the murder of Jeremy, the most beloved kinfolk of the Sept, and has arranged for a meeting with Michael so he can question him on the matter, as he is a person of interest in the investigation, and he's trying to get as much information as possible to see who could have been where at what time.
You will find yourself in the what was the name of that place? Oh, let's see if I can forget it. God damn it. Upper East Side. As you go to one of those big apartments, and there's a kinfolk butler welcomes you towards the apartment, which leads to the highest floor. And his wife will be the one who welcomes you, and then she will immediately move you, go towards the room. Do not make you wait. And when you enter the room, you will see Mike inside, along with this gentleman. And the Mike stands, and this dude remains seated.
Okay. Does Jacob recognize the other guy who remains seated?
No. You didn't meet him yet.
Okay, that's fine. Jacob will then just kind of nod to Michael and kind of put out his hand for him to shake. We'll just say, Michael?
He nods. Raya, I would like to introduce you to my brother. Smells Fear, Shuttle Lord Astro Philodox. He is in the tree cairn. And the dude looks at the Jacob while still standing.
Well, I guess honorable submission, considering he's an Afro and I'm not. First time Jacob's had to do that in a while. So yeah, honorable submission on that. Right?
He nods, and he says, I heard a lot about you, Jacob Clay.
Only good things, I hope.
Indeed, most of them are indeed good things. Please sit here to listen to a conversation with my brother. As Mike kind of sits on his desk, and you, not on desk, on a sit, which is in front of him, there's this desk. The dude is the Afro dude is like standing in one of those. There's two sits in front of him, in front of Mike, and he sits one of those sits, and you kind of sit in front of towards the mic, and three of you kind of face to face to each other. And the Mike immediately looks at Jacob and says, Raya, how may I help you?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy. Actually, OC, how long ago has it been at this point? Like a week and a half?
Pardon?
I'm just wondering how long it's been since Jeremy's death, like a week and a half.
Jeremy died like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. A fortnight ago, Jake. Jeremy, the former leader of the Kinfolk Council, passed away. I am running an investigation into his death and interviewing all relevant parties as to that particular topic. Fairly standard procedure.
He nods.
So forgive me if I get a bit pedantic, but I need to. I'll be needing to establish all of the facts to a very pinpoint level of detail to establish who was where, when, to see if there was foul play involved.
He nods. Of course, Ryan.
Jacob doesn't cough because Garu don't get sick unless you're a Metis. So if we could start from the beginning, what were you doing? And to actually give the date, because it's been like a week and a half now to a fortnight.
It's completely okay. It's completely okay.
Yeah.
I was in my house with my wife. We stay here. We stay here with her.
Can you define to me where you were at 3 to 6 a.m. in the morning of Jeremy's death?
At my bed, Ryan. Sleeping. With my wife. Holly. A shuttle orphan just like myself. Belongs to my brother, Smells of Fear.
Funny enough, your answers match most others. And a joke's about him being asleep, because it's night. Could you tell me how you knew Jeremy? Or what you thought of him, what you thought other people thought of him?
Jeremy and I met when the Kinfolk had been confined to the Sept. He was asking to meet with a lot of Kinfolk, but I rejected him because I was not interested. When the Kinfolk choose leaders, Jeremy has been chosen, and I have not, because that was the other person who tried to be the leader. What I think about Jeremy is a good leader, but the wrong side of where he should stand. But he didn't deserve to die. Especially in the way that he did.
I will briefly truth with OCL, briefly truth with guide that statement. Discord is just being a bit slow. I get it. Roll the 6 and 10. What's the difficulty of the roll?
8.
8. Man, this guy's a fucking good liar. I get 2 successes.
He's not lying.
Okay, that's good. He didn't deserve to die. That's good. True. Can you tell me how you know Tyler?
I actually never met Tyler. I heard rumors about him.
What rumors?
Rumors related that he is a disrespectful person, an outspoken individual. And I heard that he carries a bunch of weaklings with himself.
Sorry, that he carries.
He has a bunch of weaklings with himself.
I see. Sorry, I'm really bad. He has much.
He has a bunch of weaklings
Ah,
around him.
thank you. Sorry, I'm just loading up my other notes, which I should have done before the scene. Can you tell me what, from your perspective, what you believe Jeremy thought of you or Tyler?
Jeremy has fought with me, or what do you mean, Ryan? I never punched him.
I'm wondering what you perceived his opinion to be on yourself and Tyler.
I think his opinions on myself was not that high. When it comes to Tyler, I actually do not know. You will have to forgive me, Raya. I usually don't ask people what they think about me or others. I look at facts and try to do my job as a kinfolk. I don't have to like someone to work with that person. If it's for the betterment of Gaia and what we all fight for, that is good for me.
Jacob just kind of nods, like, as if a reasonable response, sort of thing. Do you know if anyone might have had it out for Tyler? Oh, sorry, not Tyler. Jeremy, sorry.
According to rumors, Tyler might have. The Jeremy, maybe lesser than I am, but still was sporting to have a good relationship with the Garu.
Speaking of which, do you have reason to believe any Garu might have had it out for Jeremy?
He thinks, and then says, many traditionalist Garu will see what we're doing as a heresy. I actually don't know any specific Garu who does it, or who might have killed Jeremy. At the same time, Raya, it has been known the Worm has many agents. And there are rumors about the skin dancers. I think two might be connected.
I'm actually going to truth or deny that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, because even if it's true.
No, he says, I think, I know that someone got like skinned, and he said, I think those might be connected because, he actually was going to say, which he says, I will say he says, I don't think there's there's not a lot of, how do I say, these are too close. You know what I mean? He thinks like the murders probably related. And when you shoot a guy at him, Which I don't know, did you or you didn't yet?
Well, my point is that let's assume one of Jacob's hypotheses that the skin dancers involved were correct, and he was directly involved in that. He could say, "I believe the skin dancers are connected," and he wouldn't know, and it would still come up as true if he believed it. But if he was involved and he knew skin dancers were involved, it would also come up as true, but it wouldn't actually help Jacob either way, because all he would know is that the statement would be true. But it wouldn't actually give him the information he needs. It could actually mislead him, so he wouldn't use it. Not for that, at least. Besides, this guy's difficulty 8 on a roll. I don't want to botch.
It's completely okay. You can spend a willpower as well in Tutor
Oh.
Raya, I'm guessing that you won't accept this, but whoever doing this is causing us not to focus our true enemies, and I offer you any need or any things that you might need in the future. The reason I invited my brother here is for you to accept or try to understand, just because we're Shadow Lords, it doesn't mean we will do vile things. Death of Jeremy doesn't add anything to us. I was already controlling, and he says this like in a matter of factly. I already had the half of the votes, and the remaining votes were divided. I was already controlling the council.
I understand. The offer is appreciated. If something comes up that I make me give up for, I'll make sure to inform you. Thank you.
He nods. Any questions, Raya? I will answer them with truthfully. Regarding Jeremy's death, of course. Kind of smiles when he says that.
He's smart, okay. Take grin with him.
He's a Shadow Lord. He's not going to tell you.
Yeah, I know. He's being the CC. He's like, with this unique qualifier, I shall tell the truth.
Exactly. This unique qualifier.
Fucking asshole Shadow Lords. God damn it, Mike. Let's see. How did you know? Let's see. Where are you during Jeremy's death? How did you know Jeremy? Do you know Tyler? So I need to catch up with that ally. Do you know Tyler? What do you think? Jeremy fought with you and Tyler. Do you think anyone had it out for Jeremy?
I also would like to add that Jeremy was really stressed. It was understandable from his last days or the last meetings. And I believe this stress has been caused because of Tyler and the individuals that he's meeting.
Who has Tyler been meeting?
Individuals Jeremy has been meeting.
Individuals.
Jeremy has been meeting with Lena, who is a glasswalker. She's liberal. They were lovers. And I don't know, but sometimes woman can make you feel weird about yourself. When it comes to Tyler, 30% of the Kingfolk population saw him as a real leader and their voice. So while we controlled the council was not unified, as the Black Fury actually likes Tyler, or the Black Fury representative, or the Child Guy representative, or the Bonar representative. They do enjoy what Tyler has as a power, which scares many traditionalist individuals. And therefore that is the sole reason I actually put my name forward, and I don't think there's anybody else who could do this job better than I do. At least for now.
And a character, because Jacob, actually, we'll talk about this after scene. Jacob will kind of nod. And let's see. Sorry. And Jacob will actually. There'll be one last question before I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
He'll simply say, "Well, thank you for the information. There is one last question I would like to ask. What are your views on this council and the whole situation that's unraveled over the past 2 weeks? I understand it's been quite divisive."
My opinion is, Raya, is that the Elizabeth Frankenet is puppet of the current Fianna, and she doesn't know shit about politics. She's a kind woman, but that's all she is, and the politics are not kind. I think she will fail this entire community and what they stand for. She's an abused kin. And just like many abused dogs, she will just do what their owners say. But it seems she will win. That is, it looks like that she will win, but that is not a problem. If she is good for the Gaia and her survival, I will have to bow my head to an abused kin. But I'm not a prideful individual. I love my wife, I respect my brother and the nation.
Oh, see, Tyler's the super liberal guy, right?
Tyler is radical. This guy is a traditionalist.
Yeah, so Jacob kind of analyzes
You can roll me psychology.
Yes, I do actually have a dot on it. I only have a dot, but it's a dot. I get no successes. God damn you, psychology.
I'm gonna give you one thing.
Okay.
Let me perception empathy first, and I will make sure.
Oh, come on. What is this?
Wow, okay, I'm not. Seems like I'm not.
Zero successes. Okay. But that's fine. It happens. Jacob will simply, again, analyze the statement and say, that's an interesting perspective. I've heard many think that she would do the exact opposite, considering that it was a radical who put her forward.
She is seen as just like Jeremy. Maybe she is like Jeremy. Maybe she is just a puppet. I don't know. And most importantly, I do feel like I should aid the Garu to find the skin dancer or this killer. And I'm hoping that she will do the same. But she told me, and she actually promised me. And I can see a liar when I see one. She promised me that she will aid. That's why I'm considering to make things more easy, to let it go and let her become the leader. Because again, if she is she is the moderate, she is the individual who was between Tyler and me and the people who support me. I actually want to ask your opinion about this. Because Elizabeth Frankenet is a beaten dog.
Pardon?
Elizabeth Frankenet is a beaten dog.
Well, I personally wouldn't call her a dog. I suppose it's dependent on whether the abuse she has suffered impacts her ability to do her job to an adequate and consistent degree.
He nods and smiles, doesn't say anything.
If it renders her unable to do her job, well, that's going to be a problem for the council and for everyone else as well. If it's not, and she's able to do her job, then it's effectively a non-factor. Of course, I don't know her, so I can't really make much of a judgment either way. Obviously, I think it's agreeable to everyone that the fact that she suffered the abuse is wrong. It's whether that impacts her ability to perform her role correctly within the council.
Mike, as the smell sphere kind of like says, he's not here to talk about the council. He's here to talk about you. Don't waste this time about the other topics. And then the dude, Mike, looks and nods, then looks at Jacob and says, "My apologies, Ryan."
All right. I believe those are. Yeah, I suppose I could just make a quick law investigation check to see if there's any other relevant questions I should ask. Just 2 successes, so if there's anything stupid I'm missing.
Oh, see, I think you made a pretty good investigation related to it.
Okay. Jacob is satisfied with his line of questioning and the answers given. Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Mike, can you leave us alone, please? Mike gets up, nods to Jacob, nods to Smell Sphere, and leaves Shadow Lord and the Silver Fang in the room alone.
I'm sure this will go perfectly fine.
How is the investigation going? I checked my brother the next day. He's not the killer, and I wouldn't expect him to be. He's not educated that way.
So far, I've interviewed the individual that found the body. I've investigated the crime scene thoroughly. I've also ran. I've gotten statements from Lena and now your brother. I need to follow up with Tyler and Elizabeth. Those are the main individuals of interest in this investigation so far. It wouldn't surprise me if an unknown skin dancer killed Jeremy to drive a political wedge between the kin and Nagara of the Sept, but that would require a degree of inside knowledge, which implies this to be someone from the Sept and not someone outside of it.
I would like to state your interest in something else. My packmate, Wendigo, has been killed and skinned. And I heard there were 2 more deaths, suspicious deaths in this. I can't investigate it at the moment because there's too much things going on at the tree. But I think death of Jeremy, as much as it's understandable, and it's sad that kinfolk is dead, is a sign of something else. I feel like, or I see, and I try to commune with Grandfather Thunder. He tells me there's a big scheme going on,
Looks
and
like
it's weirdly is not the one. It's not the Shadow Lords are the one who's doing the scheme. You can leave if you want to, but I would rather share a wine with you if you want to.
sure, why not?
Would you like to end the scene there?
Yep, sure thing. And yeah, Jacob will share a drink with the new Shadow Lord, and end the scene there. Thank you, ST, for STing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you all next time.